A ruthless murder has been committed. Someone has wiped out the dinosaurs, and we believe we've got the killer in custody. Eyewitnesses claim that an asteroid the size of Mount Everest struck Earth, shattering the planet and triggering a mass extinction. A simple, memorable, and convincing explanation. But is it really that simple? In recent years, new evidence has revived an older theory, one that points to a second suspect, a slow-moving, liquid asteroid, lava, almost 1,000 times larger, colliding with Earth from the opposite side. Since we're the Real Crime Investigation team, let's examine the new evidence and uncover a different story that could destroy everything we thought we knew. The last days of an empire, 66 million years ago, Earth was nearly unrecognizable. It was the end of the Cretaceous period, one of the hottest and most humid eras in Earth's history. Dense forests covered most of the planet, and even the poles, shrouded in months of darkness, were home to prehistoric pine and fern forests. Towering reptiles ruled the land, pterosaurs ruled the skies, and massive marine creatures dominated the oceans. On land, nearly every large creature was a dinosaur, among the most successful beings ever to walk the earth. For over 150 million years, they ruled the planet until they were slaughtered. They vanished in the blink of a geological eye. Tragic, isn't it? But what caused it? Yes, a massive asteroid did strike Earth. But was it really the killer, or did it just take the blame? Some scientists believe that before the asteroid, a much older and deadlier force was already plotting the dinosaurs' downfall. Let's see how it happened. The continents were roughly where they are today, though not identical. India was still an isolated tropical landmass, a paradise of rainforests and exotic life, moving toward Asia. But that paradise hid a sleeping giant, the Deccan Traps, a vast volcanic region 1,000 kilometers wide. The apocalypse began silently, unnoticed. Around 800,000 years before the asteroid impact, the Deccan Traps began releasing about 10 million tons of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide each year. It didn't seem much at first, but the emissions never stopped. Over 500,000 years, these gases built up in the atmosphere. Then, about 300,000 years before the impact, the Deccan Traps began to erupt. But this wasn't an ordinary volcanic eruption. It was a flood of lava. Imagine endless horizons of volcanoes, smoke-filled skies, and suffocating air. Poisonous gases spread, ash darkened the sky, and lava rivers ignited global wildfires. Local ecosystems collapsed, and India became a wasteland. Yet it still looked like a regional catastrophe, just another disaster in Earth's long history. If it had stopped there, dinosaurs might still roam the Earth today. But the nightmare was only beginning. The eruptions continued for hundreds of thousands of years, eventually turning into a global catastrophe. The planet first experienced a warming period. Oceans warmed by 2 degrees Celsius in just 100,000 years. That might sound small, but it was catastrophic. Then temperatures suddenly dropped. Ecosystems, barely adapted to the warmth, were thrown into chaos. Sulfur turned to acid rain, carbon dioxide acidified the oceans, and plankton, the foundation of the marine food chain, began to die. Without plankton, mass extinction was inevitable. And then came the grand finale. About 50,000 years before the asteroid impact, the Deccan Traps exploded with fury. For thousands of years, they spewed trillions of tons of magma and toxic gas into the air. Wildfires, earthquakes, and tsunamis ravaged the land. Gigantic hypercane storms may have formed, colossal hurricanes with winds over 1,000 kilometers per hour, tearing through the atmosphere and punching holes in the ozone layer. Lethal mercury and acid clouds enveloped the planet, suffocating what little life remained. Even the last dinosaurs may have died vomiting toxic foam under acid rain. It was a cruel end for such majestic rulers. Then, silence. The eruptions faded, but the world was forever changed. When it was over, Deccan's fury had left the earth poisoned and broken. Even ecosystems far away had suffered. The age of dinosaurs was finished. And then it happened. A flash in the sky. A 10-kilometer asteroid slammed into Earth with the force of 4 billion nuclear bombs. The massacre was complete. Yet even then, on the opposite side of the world, the Deccan traps kept erupting for another 800,000 years, releasing tens of trillions of tons of deadly gas. When they finally went quiet, 75% of all species on Earth were gone, including nearly every dinosaur. Only one lineage survived, the birds, living reminders of a magnificent past. So, who was the killer? Was it the Deccan traps? Or would the dinosaurs have survived without the asteroid? Or was it a deadly partnership of both? We may never know. Scientists still debate fiercely, and multiple models tell different stories. Time erases evidence. And like most true crime cases, this one ends without a clear answer. But one terrifying truth remains. At least 4 of the 5 great mass extinctions happened when the Earth unleashed enormous amounts of magma. The monster beneath our feet seems to be a serial killer. The deadliest of all, the Permian extinction, 250 million years ago, was caused by the Siberian traps, which wiped out 95% of all species. For a long time, scientists thought that was a rare event. Now evidence suggests it may be the rule. Each time the planet's volcanic monsters awaken, extinction follows. So maybe the dinosaurs weren't killed by a random space rock, but by a serial killer sleeping beneath our feet. Should we be worried? Not at all. The killer is real, but unimaginably slow. And it's currently in a deep, peaceful sleep. If it were ever to awaken again, scientists would detect the signs millions of years in advance, giving us plenty of time to prepare and get out of the way.